Hi guys, Newbury Biker. I'm just out for a day on my bike, pedal bike that is, on my e-bike. Had a few things fitted to it actually, a few little bits and bobs. But the main purpose of the ride today is to do a short video on my new bit of kit. I bought myself the um, Trangia 27. It's a non-stick version with a kettle. I believe it's the well, I say non-stick, it's actually the hard anodized number 6, I think. Comes with hard anodized windshield top and bottom section, and it also comes with non-stick on the 2 pans and the frying pan. But I'll set it up, put it on, have a cup of tea and something to eat, and I'll give you a closer look at it. Cheers. Hi guys, Newbury Biker. Just out of shot at the moment. I'll just get my stuff out the bike. I've got water, cup, little flask with some milk in it. Bag of tea and coffee and various bits and bobs. Just bought this, but it's the fuel from my Trangia. I've just bought a little 300 ml Trangia fuel container, just because smaller than the one I've got is 500. This is my Trangia. Comes in, I've got an orange bag for it. It's a 27, and it's a hard anodized version. So the down that little spatula just for the job. So it's hard anodized on the windshield, and the frying pan is non-stick. So it's a non-stick, and it's 180 ml across on the frying pan. So it's just big enough for one person really, or it says it's for two, but it's for one. And it comes with all the usual things like the pot holder. I popped a few extra things in, like a spork plastic, because I've got non-stick pans. So I use a microfiber towel to stop it rattling, protect it. And in here you've got the kettle, which I've got a few bits and bobs inside. I'll show you that now actually. So inside we have a bit of cleaning kit. The spirit burner is in here, which I'll get out, and a ferrous rod for lighting. So that's your hatch. It's proven to be very difficult today, isn't it? But that's in there in the bag. So there's your kettle. In the set, you've got 2 pans. So you've got two pans with it, Trangia non-stick. And I've got a few bits of damage on mine, look, but I've had to live with that because, in fact, it's getting worse. Must be off the kettle. Anyway, not to worry. This one has the volume stamped in it, the 1/2 litre and the 1/3 of a litre, and it's a 1 litre to the top. This one doesn't have the volume stamped in it, but it is the same size. It's a slightly different shape, so they nest, but they're called the same volume. Okay, so I'll just get this set up, and you can see that the windshield, this is the top section, and the lower section are hard anodized, which is quite nice actually. So we'll just set the unit up. There's the bottom section, which is extremely light, and the top section, I'll just get it locates. There's like 3 cutouts on the base here, look, 1, 2, and there's one up here, 3, and they locate with like lugs on the bottom, and you just turn it a smidge and then you can lift the whole thing up, turn it back a smidge, and they come apart. So we'll put the burner in, and that just locates. Move that out of the way. So burner's in there. Just put that down there. Getting ourselves in the right pickle. Unscrew the lid to the burner, and the burner has a black O-ring in there, look, and that stops your fuel evaporating. This is simmer ring, and you can adjust that from fully closed for snubbing off for shutting the flame off, or you can have it fully open, a quarter or half, and that adjusts your flame. Okay, so we'll just fill up our burner with our meths. Well, I say meths, it's actually biofuel, and I've put like 10% water in. So that's filled up, and I had 150 mil in there, so that's takes about 50 or so mil to fill it. Maybe more like 70. So we've got our ferrous rod, and that should just light, and I think that's lit. Maybe not, because it is cold. There's a lesson we've learnt, is that it won't light. I've got a bit of paper in there. Just 1 minute. So I've got a bit of paper. Obviously a light, because I didn't bring a lighter. I didn't think I'd need one, to be honest. And see if the paper will light. There we go. Not ideal. Hopefully that'll light it. I think she's a light. So where there's a will, there's a way. Yeah, definitely a light. So you can't see it, guys, but I'll just give you a quick look. The paper's still burning, of course, but it is a light. Okay. I can feel the heat off of it, so she's going. Lovely. Just put ourselves a cup full of water in. And that take a while to bloom anyway, because it's quite cold. But I did only put 10% water in, so I kept it to a minimum. So we'll put that in our kettle. Yeah, and that's a full kettle. Woo. Yeah, she's a light. We'll let that get blooming up. Kettle on. It'll bloom up in there because it's out of the wind. But while we're waiting for the kettle to boil, I'll just give you a look around where I am. The camera around. So we're effectively between the canal in Newbury and I guess the river, because or this might be the wash off actually, you know, the overflow. But in this area you've got picnic benches. You've got the main canal up here, look. I'll just head up here. See the church there. You got there's the canal. And along here is the lock. Okay. So that's the lock at Newbury. And I'm just down there on that bench, look. So any water, any excess water goes around along there and rejoins the canal at the other side of the lock. As you can see, it's rather rapid at the moment. This is in January 2025. It's a Saturday, and I think it's the 22nd. 22nd, I think. Yeah, but it's a Saturday, thereabouts the 22nd. Waiting for the kettle to boil because the Trangia is taking its time blooming because of the cold. Still hasn't bloomed really. It's been on a few minutes now, but it'll get there, and then we'll get the kettle boiled. Okay. So guys, we just boiled over a bit. Put it back on there. So the that is blooming, even though you can't see it. As you drop the kettle in, it is blooming, and that's boiling. Yeah, see the rolling boil? So she's boiling. So we'll just take that off and make our cup of coffee. So we've got a smidge of milk in our little flask. I got this off Amazon, it was about £8. I think it holds about 90 millilitres. Enough for 2 or 3 coffees. Give it a stir with a packet. They're good stirrers, they do. That's it. So we've got a nice hot cup of coffee. Got the water on a go again. And I was hoping to make this rice and have the rice actually. But I'm going to be having an Indian tonight at home. We're having takeaway, so I might not bother with the rice, to be honest. So I'm not really hungry. Just to show you the set really. Just messing about really. So we're not going to bother. So let's pack it away. So we take the water off. And there's no salt whatsoever on that. So putting the 10% in definitely works. We'll just snuff the flame out, and we've used about half of a pot. But oh, that didn't go quite well, did it? There we go. So that's out. We'll just leave that to cool off for a minute. And then we can get packing away, can't we? So the first thing I do is put the strap through. Because it can be a little tricky when they're not worn in. You got to help them through the holes. But we'll get that through the hole. The windshield goes in next. But what I'm going to do is put the micropile tower in to separate the two surfaces so they don't rub. And we'll open those. Next thing that goes in is the two pots. So I'm going to put them back in the bags because I'm trying to look after them. So that's the external one. That's the internal one. And the internal one is the one that's getting a few scratches on it. And thinking about it, I don't think it's the pot holder when you park it in. I think that it's actually these sharp edges on the kettle. See, on that aluminium handle, I think it's these that are scratching it. Maybe just the back one, because the front one is well within the spout. So I think it is that. Yeah, that's what it is. It's definitely that is scratching the inside of the pots. It's so scratched now anyway, it hardly matters really. Yeah, definitely that. I'll have to sort that out. We'll put a couple of layers of plastic between it. Just got to shorten it or round it off or do something with it. You can't not push it in really, because it just doesn't work without it. So our stove isn't hot enough to burn, so it's not going to melt the old ring. And just tighten that up. Don't tighten it too tight, because as it cools it will create a vacuum, and then I won't be able to get the lid off. Meths burner goes in the dedicated bag. Goes in there. The cleaning kit. Goes in there. On goes the lid. That goes into there, like so. Then go the little handles, or the pot stand parts. Like that. In goes the pot holder. And I put my little spork in there. Put it underneath actually, that can go. that fits in there. It's a bit snug, but it fits in there. Just needs a bit of persuasion. Close it all up. Our strainer, which is a cutting board, a strainer, and you can use to keep things in there warm. But I wouldn't put it on when it's actually on the heat, because it could melt. Just do that up, and I'm working on it, a system, and our little spatula, which I've cut down, just fits on the top. So that is one complete cooking system, really. The only additional things you need, unless you get a really small meths container, and you can put it inside. I mean, you can keep the meths in the in the burner, but of course then you only got one one level of fuel. You haven't got a top up, so you're talking about one of those or something smaller. Milk for your tea, or powdered milk. Your tea, to be honest, your tea and coffees and things, you could almost certainly get that in there, and that was in there as well. So I will just put that back in the bag anyway for transportation. I'll sort it out when I get home, and me rubbish. And I'm going to put my coffee in there as well. So it's all in there. But you could get your coffee and powdered milk and sachets and bits and bobs. You could get them quite easily inside the actual the kit. Now I'll pop that away. So I'll pop that away in the bike, and I've got my panniers on. I'm going to pop that in there. There's loads of room. They're 20 litres a side, and I've got the central piece as well. So I'll just pack that away, come back in a second. So guys, we've popped everything away, leave it all nice and clean, just my cup of coffee, and my bike's ready to go. I've got to go home soon, so I shan't do any footage on the bike at the moment. So let's just spin you around. So if you like what I do, and you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I'd really appreciate it. Get the numbers up, because I do quite a lot of interesting things, I think, and it'd be really nice if you'd come and join me. So please like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and we'll catch you on the next one. So that's Newbury Biker. As always, ride safely. Catch you later.